Nathan adjusted the mop handle in his calloused hands and moved quietly through the marble lobby of Hartwell Industries, the kind of building where every surface reflected wealth and every person walked with purpose, except him. He was invisible here, and he had made peace with that long ago. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from. His name tag read simply Nathan. Down to the 847 employees of this billion-dollar corporation. That was all he was, a name tag and a mop. What none of them knew was that Nathan held 3 advanced mathematics degrees, had once published research on differential equations, and had given it all up 7 years ago to raise his daughter Maya, alone after his wife passed. He never complained. He chose Maya, and he would choose her again every single day. The nights were long, the pay was thin, but Maya was thriving, and that was everything. He tutored her at the kitchen table every evening, turning their modest apartment into the most important classroom in the world, and she soaked up every lesson with the hunger of someone who understood. Even at 12 years old, that knowledge was the one thing no one could ever take from you. Nathan smiled every time he thought of her. She was his greatest proof, his most beautiful equation. Elena Hartwell did not smile often, not because she was cold, but because she was always thinking 3 steps ahead, calculating risk, managing outcomes, protecting the empire her father had built, and that she had tripled in value over a single decade. She was the kind of leader who arrived before everyone and left after everyone, whose coffee was always cold by the time she remembered to drink it. Her daughter Lily was 11, brilliant, and quiet in a way that worried. Elena sometimes quiet like a child, who had learned not to interrupt. Elena told herself the boarding school was the right choice. The tutors were the right investment. The structured schedule was the right environment. She told herself these things, the way a person tells themselves things they are not entirely sure are true. On Thursdays, Lily came to the office after school and waited in the corner conference room until Elena finished her last call. It was their routine. It was, Elena realized on some honest nights, not enough. It was a Thursday in October when everything changed. Elena left her office 20 minutes early, a miracle by any measure, and walked toward the conference room. Through the glass panel in the door, she stopped. Lily was not alone. Nathan, the janitor, was seated across from her daughter, a notebook open between them. And he was explaining something with quiet intensity, drawing geometric figures and writing sequences that Elena, even from the doorway, recognized as far beyond what Lily should have been studying. Her daughter was leaning forward, eyes bright, asking questions with an eagerness Elena had not seen in months. She stood there longer than she should have. She could not move. Finally, she opened the door, and the room fell quiet. Nathan stood immediately, his expression careful and respectful. He said he hoped it was all right, that Lily had seemed frustrated with a problem one Thursday weeks ago, and he had simply helped. And then it became a habit, and he should have asked permission, and he was sorry if he had overstepped. Elena looked at her daughter, who was looking back at her with an expression that asked a silent question. Please do not take this away from me. Elena asked Nathan to sit back down. Then she sat down too. She asked him to explain what they had been working on. He did. For 40 minutes, Nathan spoke about mathematics, the way people speak about something they love without apology. When he finished, the room was very still. Elena had her assistant pull Nathan's file the next morning. She read it twice. Then she called him into her office, not as an employee summoned for review, but as one person speaking honestly to another. She asked him why he was mopping floors with 3 advanced degrees. He said that his daughter needed a father who was present, and the janitor schedule gave him that, and he had never once regretted the choice. Elena looked at this man in his worn uniform and felt something shift inside her, something she had been keeping rigid for a very long time. She asked if he had ever considered that the company might need someone like him in another capacity entirely. He said he had not allowed himself to think that way. She said perhaps it was time he did. Over the following months, Nathan joined Hartwell's Education Outreach Division. He built a mentorship program that reached underfunded schools across 3 cities. Lily and Maya became the kind of friends who argue about prime numbers at lunch. Elena began leaving the office at 6. Not every day, but enough. She stopped telling herself that success and connection were a trade-off and started building a life where both could exist. Nathan never asked for